Hello, hello. We are live with Terra Nullius. We have a side story today. We are going to take a little bit of a brief trip away from, across the ocean, away from the New World and back to the Old World. We are going to Constantinople, words. We're going to go to Constantinople / Istanbul, however you want to say it. I think at this point of time, it's mostly called Istanbul because the dragonborn equivalent of the Ottoman Empire is here right now. I think it was only about 50 years ago in the timeline that they conquered this city. So there's like an Islamic dragonborn empire, basically, that's kind of running the show right now over here. So that will be interesting. There's definitely
especially for my character.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, let's just jump right into it, and we can kind of figure out who you people are as we play here. So I think what we do is obviously we get the normal, like I guess not the normal, but we get the Terra Nullius credit sequence, except it's like completely different people, and like at first you're just like, wait, what's going on? I thought this was like Toity and them. Who are these people? But yeah, you see Muldrak and Yi and Shayla basically doing their own things, and they come up as the titular characters instead of our normal cast. And at the end it says Terra Nullius side stories.
So Emily and Alyssa finally have character names that are different enough.
Okay, I saw Alyssa's name first before I made my name. I was really close to picking a name that was like almost exactly the same, and then I decided against it.
Actually,
Awesome.
Caleb, I finally found a way to figure it out. I'm like, because it's Ari, Alyssa. They both start with A's.
Right.
That's how I got it in my head. Hey, whatever works. Okay.
Alyssa's like, is that so difficult?
Yes. Apparently.
Yeah, so I think what we do is we get an establishing shot of the city of Istanbul, the dragonborn equivalent, and we I think we follow a dragonborn laborer of some sort, like a porter, and it's they have like yellowish scales. They're kind of scrawny. They're just like walking through this like incredibly crowded street in this like dusty city, and they're making their way through the crowd. They have like a sack of something on their shoulder. They're making their way through the crowd. We're just following them along, and then they stand in front of a building, and there is a sign on this building, like a little pictogram on it, basically, and you see a green dragon on the sign. Like there's a painted green dragon, and it's right below it. It has the text and the name of the inn, but obviously most people, even nowadays, the normal common folk wouldn't be able to read, and so they'd just be like, oh, it's the green dragon. So there you go. It's the dragon right there. I can see it. But yeah, we see in text below it the green dragon inn. And the guy steps in, and immediately the soundtrack changes from the bustle and noise of the street outside to a maybe just a little bit less quiet noise in the inn, the tavern / inn. And yeah, it's a crowded tap room filled with people of all different races, right? We see lots of dragonborn, obviously, but we also see Azamar, tieflings, humans, and we see this. Actually, I'll just drag you guys over to the map here, so you guys can see this. We see this big tap room here. We see the bar. We see a dragonborn bartender just kind of like washing, doing the perfunctory washing of the glass, or drying, washing of the glass with a little rag. And then we see all these tables kind of scattered around. We see some stairs going up to the lodgings above. Then we see this big table over here on which it looks like a couple of richer patrons are seated. It's like this the VIP table basically. It's a little on this raised platform, and they're like eating some more expensive wares. And then the camera, you know, sees the dragonborn that came in, just kind of like go past everybody and into the back, you know, with his like sack of probably like potatoes or something, right? And he's like going, or maybe not potatoes, because potatoes I think are actually like a New World thing. I don't think that potatoes
Like
existed.
Ireland area.
Well, they came to Ireland after.
Oh, really? Okay.
It comes from the New World actually. Potatoes do, if I remember correctly here. But yeah, he comes up with his like sack of whatever it is, goes like to a back room, and then goes out of sight. The camera stays in the tap room. Obviously he was like an employee of the store or of the inn, and yeah, the camera pans around and we see our characters sitting at this central table right here in the midst. Yeah, it's the potatoes from the Andes is the origin. So from South America. So you guys maybe discovered the potato for the old world.
Whoa.
I discovered potatoes, and I'm living in Idaho.
Yeah, so we see our characters seated here. They are talking to a young human, who is wrapped in Islamic like shawl headdress thing. And she is, sitting on this table, and you guys are deep in conversation with this woman. So I think the camera first focuses on the big dragonborn dude that is at one of the chairs here. What does Moldrak look like, Seth? And what can you tell us about him?
Moldrak is a blue dragonborn. I also have no idea if this accent works or not. I had no time
do it, man. Just go for it.
Moldrak is a blue dragonborn. He looks like blue dragonborn. There is not too much to say. He is a man of simple means. He has his priestly garments on. He has okay, I actually have to ask a question because this is your world, Caleb, technically. So Moldrak is very opposed to the Inquisition that has been going on as of late. So I was thinking maybe he had like the symbol of an inquisitor but upside down. Would that be like still a bad idea?
No, that sounds interesting. Yeah, for sure. Let's see. I'm just curious what the symbol for that would look like.
I don't know if there is one. I'm literally ripping this from a different character.
Yeah, so we have the Tribunal of the Holy Office of the Inquisition. It looks like they had obviously it's a cross with a it's like a bumpy cross with a branch, like a small like tree basically, and then a sword on either side of the cross, and then there's a little signet like stamp border around it that says Exugre Domine et so on. There's some Latin there basically, but yeah, you can have that except like a reversed version or like some sort of changed version of it.
I would say maybe upside down. And it has what's my weapon again? It looks like it's upside down, and it looks like something has kind of hit it in a sense, like it has like a scar across it.
Right, okay. Yeah. So it's like this little badge, but it's like dented. Yeah.
Dented, more like almost like cut almost,
right,
but it didn't get completely cut.
Yeah.
And he wears this.
What is it made out of? Is it like a little metal badge, or is it like sewn
brass,
into your? Okay, yeah.
Brass metal badge, and it's sewn. It's a kind of like upside down.
Right. So there's like a tear in it, where something got hit. Yeah, something sharp cut into it. Sure. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
This is how Moldrak looks. Moldrak does not see need for excess.
Wait, where's the? There we go. There's Moldrak. Hey, Moldrak. How you doing?
Moldrak is doing well.
Yeah, and then we go on from Moldrak as you're like, and I don't think we're getting the audio here, right? The wherever the microphone is in this shot, it's like basically way back away from the camera, like just getting the ambience of the room, so we can hear them talking, but we can't exactly hear what they're saying. And so the camera just kind of pans over as Muldrek is talking to this woman, and we pan over and see Yi. Is that how you pronounce it?
Mm-hmm.
Yi?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so we see Yi. What does she look like? What's her deal?
Very easily mistaken for a child.
Mm.
I'm only 4 feet 8 inches tall.
Mm-hmm.
Very slender. Chinese, so dark brown hair, brown eyes. I'm just wearing some black simple clothing, and kind of out of a hood that I have, you can see a little mouse face peek out.
You have a mouse?
Yes, I have a little pet mouse. And yeah,
cool.
Pointed ears.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, so, as a quick reminder to everybody, in this world, elves live in Asia proper, and so this is, the elven version of China, and so, yeah, she's elven, except all elves kind of look vaguely Asian in this setting. Except, of course, they have the pointed ears still. Yeah. Does this token make sense that I have here?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Okay. And then, yeah, we pass over, and we see, I think, like, from Muldrak, right, we went down a bit so that we could see Yi, and then we go down even further to see Shayla. So what does Shayla look like, Alyssa?
Shayla is an Irish halfling.
As all the best halflings are.
Yes. She's not related to Toity.
You aren't like long lost cousins or something?
No, she's got red hair, like a typical Irish person. Just kidding. I don't know, think like Karen Gillan kind of, but short, very short.
Wait, who?
Karen Gillan. Come on, Doctor Who?
Yeah, guys, come on.
Whatever. So she is that's her right there.
Cool.
I don't think her hair is quite that big.
Yeah.
Because she tries to be, she's a warlock, and she disguises herself a lot, so it's a little bit more subtle than that. But
yeah, so this is her true form. This is her, like, what she really, like, if she just like let herself go, like, this is what she looked like. But most of the time she's a little bit more subtle than this.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we pan around, and we see the last member sitting at this little table. And yeah, you all know this woman to be Damla. She is a local noble in the city. Her family was in a pretty good position of power before the empire took over. And since then, Damla and her family have been on a little bit of a downward slope. They've slowly lost power in the city and in the government, and they're almost getting to the point where they might be in trouble of, like, losing their estate entirely. They're on dire times, and because the dragonborn empire in question here has just, everywhere they've gone, displaced a lot of nobles, put their own government officials in place, and kind of taken over the joint, made the draconic version of Islam the state religion. And so Damla is definitely, her family has indeed gone over to the religion. They've just embraced that religion and stuff, and so that's one of the reasons that she's dressed the way she is. But even that is not enough to really save her family from slow social death. And so you guys are an adventuring party, right? You're a group of people. You already know each other. We're not gonna, like, have you guys all met in this tavern or anything like that. You guys have been working together for a little while, doing odd jobs here and there. You're both, capable individuals. And this is a big city. There's people who want to get things done. Maybe some things that they can't get their hands dirty with. And Damla is in the process of explaining to you guys a job that she wants you to perform. And I think the audio starts to come up as she finishes explaining this. And so she kind of basically just says, "And as you can see, My family is in dire need of your assistance. My brother, we don't know where he is. We don't know where he's gone, and we need you to find him. Please, will you help me?
Damla, you know how I feel about what happened to your family. It is very tragic not my people, but what my race has done to yours. We will do what we can to help your brother.
I thank you very much, Moldrak. You are a good man.
Thank you.
He turns to the other two.
I kind of give her like a kind of smile, like nod, shoulder shrug kind of thing.
Yeah. Woman of few words.
But it's like kind, but you know, she's a woman of few words.
Yeah.
Would there be a reward for finding your brother?
Of course. Oh, silly me! I should have mentioned that.
I glare at her. Wait, actually, wait. I'm trying to remember names. I glare at he at this point. I just giving her like a dirty look, like.
Mm-hmm. I should have mentioned that, and then she reaches into her like belt pouch basically, and she brings out some. Actually, she just grabs like a pouch off of her belt, and she puts it on the middle of the table, and she says, 300 gold pieces now, and 300 when you find him. Is that sufficient?
You are very generous, Damla.
Well, I've been saving for a while. They were supposed to go to something else, but I think, well, my family is in no position to do anything to help my brother right now, and so I had to take matters into my own hands.
This is sad.
It is, yeah. And so, like, you guys can probably tell, like, she's pretty young. Like, you're not entirely sure if she's even 20 yet. She's a pretty young girl, for sure.
So I turned to Damla with a heart aching and say, what was this money for?
Oh, nothing. Nothing important anyway. I wouldn't want to trouble you with it.
I look at her and I tell her, Damla, I've seen my fair share of what would you call that? Like, hardships in my life. I don't need you keep my half. I don't need the whole thing. And I give her back 50 gold pieces.
Okay.
50, but there's 300.
No, but we each split 3, so I'm giving her my half.
Oh, you're giving half of your share, basically.
Oh, okay.
Half of my share.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
I'll do the same, and I look at you.
Look at you.
I sit there.
Yeah, so Damla doesn't make a big deal about it. She grabs the money back, and I think there's a tear like welling up in her eye. She says, "Thank you so much. You're too kind. I'm lucky that I stumbled across you."
Yes, you are. No.
You're so blessed.
You're so blessed.
I am lawful neutral. I'm just telling the truth.
Ooh, lawful neutral. Interesting.
So where is last place you saw your brother?
Well, as I said, he was there one night in his bedchambers, and then he was gone the next morning. He was, well, taken, we think. He may have wandered off by himself, but he's never done it before, and I don't think it would make sense for him to do it now.
Does he have any enemies who would want him gone?
My brother is 10 years old, Shayla. I don't think he has made any enemies yet.
I made plenty enemies when I was 10 years old.
Yes, you are halfling. It happens.
Yeah, she gives you a quizzical look, like, oh man, what a sad life you must have led.
I turned around. Halfling's always up to mischief.
I can see that. I've never... And she kind of like whispers to you, I've never seen one before today.
I just smile.
Not this close, anyway.
Now, once again, describe your brother.
Well, he's short. He's normal size for his age.
Did she give us a name?
No, she did not, and I probably should have come up with one. Give me a second. Turkish names.
By the way, I tried practicing an Irish accent yesterday. Yeah, it did not take well, so I will not be doing that.
Totally fine.
Just do your best impression of Twitchy.
Yeah, I exclusively do normal and southern. That's all.
I can't even do that. I can do sign language. The sign language counts.
Well, see, this is coming out more Russian than I want it to, but that's as much as I can do right now.
One of these days, I want to play a deaf character and just use signs. That's it.
Yeah, then we won't understand what's happening.
His name is Kadir.
Kadir?
And their family name is Erdem.
Say it again.
Erdem is their family name. I put it in chat, so it's Damla and Kadir Erdem. It's probably the emphasis on the last syllable, so Erdem. Yeah. Yeah, so she just explains, right? She gives a cryptic description of him. He has, dark hair, rather short hair. He looks like a normal boy his age. He would have been wearing, some bed clothes, basically, right? When he either left or taken. It didn't look like he had changed into any clothes in his wardrobe or anything. So, yeah.
So he was last seen at your estate?
Yes.
May you bring us there so we can investigate?
Oh, well, see, I'm not entirely sure if that would be the best idea in the world. And she kind of looks a little sick to her stomach. She's like, oh no, I should have thought of this.
Is something wrong?
No, nothing. I just don't think it would be a good idea for you to come to the estate. That's all.
For any of us, or for certain members of the party?
Any of you.
Why is that?
Well, I said that my family didn't have the resources to do this. Well, actually, my family doesn't even know that I'm here. I don't know if they would be very accepting if they did. See, they told me to just let him go, to give up on it. He wasn't going to come back. And when I protested, my father... It's not important. I just don't think it would be a very good idea.
Why would your father protest? Why?
I'm not entirely sure. There was some sort of political thing, I think. A little bit more complicated than I can understand.
Maybe a better question is, do your parents have any enemies that would want something like this to happen to your family?
The question would be, do my parents have any allies who wouldn't want this sort of thing to happen?
I'm going to kind of reach out and put my hand on hers. You have allies with us.
Thank you. I appreciate
that. Where was your brother's room in your estate?
He was in the west wing, I think.
Is there any way he could have been taken through a back entrance or someplace through a wall?
Quite possibly. My estate is quite large. It's rather empty now, but it's still large. There are all sorts of twisting passages and even windows he could climb out. The window was open when we found his room empty the next morning.
Could you bring us to this window? I understand.
Make a persuasion test.
Oh heck yeah! I've been waiting for that.
Do it.
+5 persuasion. Public roll, not a whisper roll.
Yeah. Oof, man. Yeah. Completely. Yeah. So you say that, and she nods and she says, "I'm sorry. I'm being silly. Of course you need to see, so you can investigate. I will just have to deal with any repercussions that come my way. Let's go."
we will help if any repercussions come up.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So you guys want to head out to their estate?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we see you guys leave. Stand up and Damla pays for the drinks you guys have been drinking and the small bits of food you had.
I've been drinking water.
Right. Yeah. and you guys exit. And I think the last shot we get here is we focus up on the podium in the back here. And we just see a dragonborn with golden skin. He's just plucking some sort of Middle Eastern instrument. And he just kind of looks up at you guys as you leave. And then we cut to the next scene.
Is he related to Jesus?
Well, Jesus didn't have any children, so...
Well, yes, but he had relatives.
Right.
Because I'm pretty sure he decided in this world that Jesus was a dragon.
Yeah, he was, yeah. So technically, yes, it's possible that this dragonborn is in some way distantly related to Dragon Mary.
Dragon Jesus. Fire dragon.
Yeah.
Sorry, I could.
Yeah, no. So yeah, you guys head out and you go to the estate, and I think you guys we cut back. When we come up, we see the gate of the estate, and so right, it's like a complex. It's like a wall. There's a wall, and then there's like a fortress castle looking thing estate in between it. So it's like a walled compound, and we get to the gate, and Damla basically is talking to the guard, one of the guards at the gate, and I think you guys were standing at a respectful distance while she's kind of having this conversation, unless you guys want to I don't know, not be at a respectful distance. But yeah, she's trying to convince the guard that this is fine. So we come in and she's saying no, please, this is. They're here to help. They're here to find Kadir. They're and the guard is not having it. He's just I'm sorry, my lady, but you were told not to bring strangers to the estate, especially not ragged, disheveled strangers such as they. You know what your father said when you... And she's listen, we don't need to bring that up now. Not in front of them. Please. Can...
Before we get there, can I cast Disguise Self?
Sure. Okay.
Oh, that's still be interesting.
So, you have already done this before you guys got to the gate?
Right.
Okay, what are you disguising yourself as?
That is a good question. Okay, so because I can't change my size. I can only go up an inch or two, I think.
Yes, that's right.
Is the condition behind Disguise Self. I'm wondering if I could disguise myself to be
Oh, you can be a foot taller.
Be a foot taller?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm wondering
so
if
you
I
could disguise yourself to be a short person of any
a short
race.
human.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe one that I have saw.
Yeah, sure.
Or something like that, on the way there. I don't know. Just to try to be a little less intimidating. Maybe I wish I would have asked her are there any friends of yours that I could disguise myself as or something? I don't know.
Right. Do you want to have asked her that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, so she looks at you and she says, I don't understand.
Just describe a good friend of yours to me.
But why? Is this for the investigation? I don't think any of my friends stole Kadir.
If you want our help and you want my help getting into your house, just trust me.
Okay. Yeah. So she describes a childhood friend of hers that she grew up with, another young noble lady, right, from a neighboring house, basically. And so you just disguise yourself as that person.
Yeah, I just snap.
Okay.
Kind of put up the hood because I know that the features probably aren't quite the same.
Right. Well, you can make yourself. Right. Okay. Yeah. Because you can only do it from a description. So yeah, it's definitely not perfect, but okay. So what is your spell save DC?
My spell save DC
Yeah.
is Well, it says for this one, they have to make an intelligence check.
Exactly, against your spell save DC. Yeah.
I think it's 15. It's
Okay.
15.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So, I guess she's been having this conversation, right? And then you come over. Is that what you do?
Yeah.
Okay. And I think the guard looks at you and says, "Oh, actually, I should come up with a name for this person." He says, "Oh, Lady Meryl, it is," and she like does a little like bow, right? He's like, "I did not realize that you were here. Are you here?" Yeah. And she looks at he looks at Damla and says, "Why didn't you just say that it was her? Listen, the other two, they can just wait out here. But if you're just trying to, I don't understand why you keep playing these games with me." And Damla kind of like looks at you like, "Okay."
I'm like, "Please, sir, she's just distressed because of her brother being gone. Just, please just let us in."
All right. Well, I'm gonna have him make an investigation check then, because that would be the moment to do it.
It's an investigation.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's trained it or anything, but yeah.
Just dang it.
And I was gonna say, if I hear them saying that us two could just wait outside, I would shout to Damla, "It's fine. I'll just see you later." And I would want to like walk to another side of the wall to try and find it if there's a good place to hop over on the west side.
You're starting to say that as the guard is like looking at Shayla, and he's just like,
"Yeah,
something's wrong here." And he walks up to you and he's like, "Lady Meryl, are you sick? You sound strange."
I kind of like pull the hood a little down and I just go, "This is very distressing time. I have not been feeling well. Can I roll a deception check to see if I deceive him?"
Let's see. So I think he says, I'm sorry, there's just something wrong. Why are you keeping your hood up? It's very hot out today." Like, I think you're gonna have to come up with some better convincing lie than like, "I'm just sick, don't pay any attention to me." Because if you were sick, like, it doesn't even make sense that you would even be here, right? Like,
I got such an embarrassing haircut.
Yeah. I like to wear my hair up, not down.
Because he definitely saw maybe not didn't like see through the illusion, as in like it just like disappears or whatever, but he definitely thinks that something is super wrong here.
Oh. Come on, charisma, think of something.
Yeah, I think Damla like kind of comes over to you and like puts her arm around your shoulders, and she's like, "We're going to go to Sabia, the cook. You remember she makes those great herbal teas. I think it will help her stomach." And she kind of like looks at you like, "Is that what's wrong?"
Yes, it's my stomach, and I have been. You see, I'm embarrassed because I've been crying a lot. And with this new religion that we've had to convert to, I'm trying to honor their traditions.
If this was a different game, I'd have you make a luck check to determine whether or not they did convert to the religion. But okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is make a deception check. Normally, I would give you you have disadvantage because it's a bad lie. And it's just like the whole situation, but also you have advantage because she's helping you, because Damla's helping you. So it's just a regular roll. So the leftmost one.
Haha.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
He's really gullible.
Yeah. So he looks at you and he's just like, "I suppose you're right. Very well. I guess just again, Dragonborn, the Dragonborn, why is he here? Has he already like gone off at this point?
Did Yi leave? I probably would have left with her.
Yeah, I'm gone along the west side.
So I guess you guys just like already took off.
We both left. The problem is I don't have very good decks, so if we try and sneak.
Right. You probably
No, I'm not taking you with me.
Right.
I'm going by myself. I don't know what you're gonna do, but you're not coming.
Then I'm probably just still standing there.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, he looks up, he's like, who is the Dragonborn?
Sorry, I mean no disrespect. I ran into your I ran into Damla, and she told me her story, and I was so moved by it. I wanted to help by any means necessary. And when we ran into her sick friend, I told them I would make sure they came back here safely, so they would not run into any more trouble. You've already lost one child. You don't need to lose another.
Yeah. So he looks at you suspiciously, and he's like, "Well, thank you, kind stranger, for helping them find their way back to the estate. I bid you good day." And then he like kind of grabs Shayla and Damla and just starts like leading them inside. And the other guard like next to him is like opening the door, but very very pointedly saying like, "All right, bye."
I'll kind of just like whisper a prayer underneath my breath and kind of walk away and kind of just find a tree to sit by.
Right.
That's out of the way of vision of them, so they don't think I'm just lurking.
Right. Yeah. So you guys get let in. And Yi, you're gonna try to like go in a more
I'm hopping the wall
way.
somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. How about you make an investigation check to see if you can find a good spot to do that?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. So as kind of was pointed out earlier, right? Like they're slowly losing money, and so where they maybe would have had a bunch of guards posted at various locations around the wall before, it's rather like washed and defended. So you can very easily find a spot to that you think would be good to scale the wall. So do you have like rope and like grappling hook and all that stuff?
I have rope. Let's see. I have a burglar's pack. So I have.
I wonder what that has in it. Let me see if I can.
Let's see. It has rope.
I would assume that a burglar's pack has a grappling hook.
It doesn't say grappling hook, but then I was also gonna see like how tall is this wall? Like, would I be able to acrobatics my way up it?
Right. Oh, this is a pretty useful thing. Yeah, it doesn't have a grappling hook, but I think, yeah, it's gonna be difficult because it's not a very like, it's not like a bunch of rocks or anything. It's like literally like a sheer wall, right? So, you can attempt to do this, but it's not gonna be. I think you'll have to do it at disadvantage because the wall's not helping you out here any.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna go for it.
Wow.
18.
There you go. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, I think you managed to do that. So what does it look like when Yi just like expertly climbs this wall without a grappling hook or anything like that? You're literally just scaling it.
I stand at the bottom of the wall where I determine I'm gonna go up, and I just kind of like put my hands on my hips and like look at it, study it. Like my head cocks a little bit. I step back a few steps and take a running start and just go like boop, 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 boop,
you just
and, like,
run up the wall. You just get enough momentum that you just run up.
Parkour.
Yeah. Parkour. Yeah. So suddenly Yi's at the top of the wall.
Yep.
Now, yeah, if you can get up to the top of the wall, fine. But sneaking into, you know that it's the west wing that his room is in. But if you want to attempt to sneak in and get there without being noticed, that is a stealth check.
Okay.
So
perfect.
Which I assume you're pretty good at.
Yes, so I'm gonna roll this, and then it'll also be added to because of my expertise in it that I took for second level. Cool. So 21.
There you go. Yeah. So right, we get this whole sequence, right, that's showing us how good Yi is at all of these things. So I assume that you basically just like put on like a ninja hood and like you're just like completely ninjaing all of this. And so you're just sneaking through the estate, and you maybe almost get caught by a guard, but you manage to not go around a corner at the last possible second, and then hide in an alcove, and then as the guards go by, and then you keep sneaking. And I think you get there before Shayla and Damla do. So
if I get there beforehand, then I want to be in the room sitting on the bed.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. So the room is it's rather bare, as basically everything in the estate is. Where normally you would be used to nobles' houses to being covered with tapestries and fancy rugs and portraits and stuff. It looks like all of that has been removed and sold, right, to pay off debts and stuff like that. And so it's you're just walking through rather bare walls, and it's actually I think maybe the stealth it's a little bit harder to sneak around than you thought it would be, because it echoes a lot louder than it would otherwise, because it's not being dampened by all the tapestries and rugs that would be here otherwise. And so you manage to do that, get to the door, and creak it open, go inside, and the room is pretty bare. There is a bed, a rather large bed for the size this kid is, you assume, and it seems to at one point had the drapes around the bed like some fancy beds do, but it looks like those were removed as well. And you see, I think you expected more to be in this room, right? If this was a child's room, you expected maybe some toys around here, or a book or two, or something like that. But you really don't find anything. It's just a bare room. It almost looks like a guest room now. And you can see some recent signs of things being taken out. So there's some spots where there isn't dust because something was just recently removed. There's dust around that spot though. And so you just kind of sit on the bed, chill.
I do want to, I guess before they come in, doesn't really matter before or after, see if there's any signs of forced entry at the window.
Wait, want to do some investigation?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you can just do it before they even get there if you want to.
Sure.
Okay, so I don't think you find anything super out of the ordinary, right? I think in the dust you definitely see that you see what could be again, it's a stone floor room, so there's not blood or anything, right? There's not any signs like that. There's not I don't think you find a whole lot that would prove or disprove that theory, except I think you find the shutters of the door, or of the window. It looks like one of them is kind of hanging off of one hinge. It looks like it was hit recently and kind of knocked off its hinge. And I think you also find one book that's been accidentally pushed under the bed. You find basically a fairy tale book, right? A book of people slaying dragons and various other fairy tale stories from this region, right? So I think it's actually probably a book of Greek mythology, right? Whatever this world's version of that is, because this was Constantinople, basically, right? So you find some old book of Greek myths that was kicked under the bed. It's for children though, right? So pretty simplified. So what are you doing when the other two walk in?
Sitting on the bed reading the book.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think the guard insisted that you guys went down to the kitchen and got this herbal remedy from the cook. And so Damla the whole time was just trying to keep playing off the story and she wants to make her stomach feel better. And the cook, just this really old lady, and she Sabia, and she's gathering this herbal remedy for you, and she goes over to you, Shayla, and she just pats your back, and she's like, it's all right. Sometimes these sorts of stressful situations can make your stomach feel a little out of whack. It's all right. This Sabiha's herbal remedies will help you in your time of need. And she gives you this teacup.
I have to ask, does technically... Oh, wait. Okay, I have to mention this because you can't actually interact with the parts that don't really... Did you actually make yourself taller, Alyssa?
Yeah, I had to.
Because you can't interact with the parts that are taller.
And if she drank tea, it wouldn't be at the right mouth.
That's so true.
That's why I brought it up.
Let me just
you could,
pour
like,
this down my
you could,
shirt.
like, crouch, right? Like, and just go...
I mean, technically, I don't know if her arms would be in the right place.
That's very true.
I like reach up as high as I can go to like grab the cup that she's
Right,
offering.
so you just like really awkwardly grab this.
Right, but I can still. I think I can grab it.
Yeah.
You know, maybe so to her it looks normal, but to me I'm like reaching.
Right.
Up. And so I grab it.
Well, I'm gonna have her make the roll, I guess. Then.
Okay. What the heck?
Grandma Sabia is really, really into.
Why'd you give her a +4?
Cause I wanted her to be a wise old woman.
Well, and
she has insight.
She rolled a 19 anyway.
Rolling so well.
Literally,
really
even if
should've
I
just
had
let
given
me
her a
handle
+0, she would have still succeeded. So.
You should have just let me handle this, but it's fine.
So, yeah, I
This
think
is like my thing is disguising. Apparently, I'm really bad at this.
That's why Toity's just annoying.
So she looks at you, Shayla, and I think you know that she knows, right? She looks at you and you kind of like winks, but she doesn't say anything.
I just kind of nod and I like stroke the teacup,
Right.
but don't drink it.
Yeah.
And then I just say, "Thank you very much."
You're welcome, young miss. I hope I see you around these parts some other time.
I hope to see you again too.
Now, don't get in too much trouble, you two. And then, yeah, Damla, like, just like, oh, thank you so much. Okay, bye, and just, like, takes you off. And so you guys get to...
I, like, take the teacup and I just, like, place it on a thing as we leave.
Right, you just, like, drop it somewhere. And so, yeah, you guys get to the room, walk in, and the Yi is on the bed, reading a book of Greek myths. And, I think Damla... She's surprised at first, but she's like, "Oh, you're here. How did you? I don't understand."
I snap and get rid of my disguise. I just go back.
Right. You're like, boop, and suddenly you're a foot shorter.
I can literally do that on command, by the way.
Awesome.
It doesn't take up a spell slot or anything. I'm
Awesome.
Like, that's right. I can.
Whoa.
Disguise self is because you're a warlock, right?
Right. It's one of my
Archfey, yeah.
one of my invocations.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just insult people.
Yeah. So Damla looked at you, Yi, and she's like, "I don't understand. How did you?"
Parkour.
I don't think that word has been invented yet.
The ancient Chinese
Art of parkour.
martial art form of parkour.
Right. All right. So she nods slowly.
This isn't racist at all.
No, it's not. She nods slowly. She says, "I see. Well, what is that? What book is that? I don't. Where did you find that?"
Oh, it was under the bed.
Yeah, she comes over and kind of like sits in the bed next to you, and she grabs the book, and I think immediately like a tear just like goes down her face. She's like, "Oh, this was his favorite book. She looks up at you and just like, "I'm sorry." And she like hugs it to her chest basically, and she's like, Did you find anything while you were here?"
I mean, the book and one of the shutters is hanging on a hinge. So maybe somebody broke in the window.
Yes, that makes sense. I don't quite remember if it was like that before or not. Servants usually deal with those sorts of things.
Can I make my own investigation?
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
I have a 0, so let's see how well this goes. Oh, dang.
Oh, wow. That was so bad.
I have one of those characters who just sucks at everything, apparently. That's cool.
It's not that you suck at everything, it's that everybody else is just really good.
Or the dice just really hate you right now.
So Shayla looks around.
Like,
She just nods to herself. She's like, yep, nothing to see here.
it's a room.
It's a room. You actually think you're in another dimension? You're just like, why am I suddenly in like the astral plane? I don't understand. You have absolutely no idea where you are, what's going on. No. Yeah. Shayla just doesn't see anything.
Like, it's a room. It's normal to me.
Yeah, so I think Damla looks at you both and she's like, yeah, I didn't know what you could have found here. It's rather bare, as you can see.
Why is everything... Oh, and I guess I wouldn't have noticed that, huh, with my investigation.
How long ago was he taken? Or has he been missing?
It's been, I think, a little bit more than 2 weeks now.
Well, I mean, I can give it a try to see if there's anything in the grounds from outside this window that's amiss, but 2 weeks is probably a long time for any clues like that to still be there.
Yes, and I think it's rained since then as well. If you want to try, I would be appreciative, but of course, you're the experts, you would know more than me.
Well, I mean, I have to get out of here some way anyway, so...
So you just jump out the window.
Yeah, and then as I say that, I just kind of step out the window.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's so cool.
I'm like, well, much good I was. I didn't do anything.
Right. I love that, because Shayla was just like doing this whole disguise thing, and like you're like, yeah, man, I'm doing this, and then
this is like Angel, Caleb.
Yep, absolutely.
I'm like, I disguise myself so well, and I'm useless.
Wait, what?
From Fiasco. Never mind.
My character Angel from Fiasco.
Oh, Angel. That one.
Yep. Yeah, so you drop down and go into the grounds, and yeah, you want to investigate around there?
Yes, I would.
Yeah, I mean, Shayla, if you want to like climb down, you could like help her look, and then you could get advantage on it, right? If you're both looking together.
I'm actually fairly stealthy. That might not be too bad. I want to disguise myself as one of the guards.
Okay, yeah, so you're a little bit shorter version of one of the guards.
Can I see where they are from where I'm kind of hiding?
That's a good question. Where are you hiding exactly?
I just kind of went from the entrance, kind of like walked around into the forest area, and just kind of squatted down, waiting for them to come back.
Right, so there's like a little park next to the estate, and I mean the walls are high enough that I don't think you could see in.
Okay.
So
I mean, if I had to parkour myself over it,
yeah.
Then...
Well, so like there's like an inner wall than like the actual castle.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there's like a walled compound. Yeah.
I'm just chilling it because I got no decks.
So what is Muldrak? We just cut over to Muldrak real quick. What is Muldrak doing?
He's praying and preparing his spells because I forgot to do that before we started.
Right. So Muldrak's just like sitting next to a tree praying.
Praying for poor little Kadir.
Yep. Shayla, what were you gonna say?
Actually, I was gonna say before I leave, I want to see if there's any like drawings or portraits of the boy.
Right. Okay. So I guess you ask Damla that.
Yeah.
I think she looks at you and pales, and she says, "I don't know if we have them anymore. My parents have been selling everything. I hate to say it, but I think they might have sold his portraits."
They sold the portrait of
They
your
basically
brother?
think that he's dead already.
Oh, boy. All right. You don't have one like in your room, maybe that you would have kept?
Let's make a luck check here. I'm just gonna roll it. I'm gonna roll a d6. On a 1 to 3, she hasn't. On a 4 to 6, she has. Yeah, okay, so she looks at you and she just shakes her head. She says, "I thought of it too late. I didn't know what they were doing with them. I thought they were just putting them for safekeeping somewhere."
Okay.
Please don't. And I think she like grabs your arm as you like turn away. She's like, "Please don't think less of my parents for this. I think they're grieving in their own way.
I just kind of nod. I'm like, it's a shame that you guys have had to deal with these hardships, Damla. I'm very sorry.
She nods.
We all deal with grief in a very different way.
Mm-hmm. So you want to try to like hop down and help Yi out?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so first thing you'll have to do. So are you gonna go down the window way, or are you gonna like?
Is it 2 stories?
Yeah.
Even higher since you're a halfling.
Huh?
I mean, it's not any higher. It's just.
Well, I mean, but proportionally, it's higher. So
right. She falls more.
I don't think I have any rope either.
No, she wouldn't even fall farther. Like, yeah, her height has literally nothing to do with this.
It was a joke. Gosh.
No, I think what I'd rather do. Let's see here. I think what I'd rather do is I'd rather just disguise myself as a guard and just try to go like tell Damla to like lead me down.
Right.
Like the way that we run into the least amount of people.
Yeah. Make a deception check then. Let's see. Like you're just trying to act like another person. As you kind of like make your way down to the grounds. Yeah. There you go. Yep. So you managed to do that, no problem. Dom will lead you down there, and then yeah, we see Yi and you just kind of like going through like the garden, right, like this right outside his window, and like trying to look for clues. So how about you make a investigation check? Whoever has the highest investigation, and then with advantage.
I probably do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. 17.
Okay, so not much higher than the other investigation check. Yeah, I mean it's been 2 weeks, so there's definitely not much to go on here, but I think you do actually find something. I think you step on something, and as you step off of it, like the sunlight like glints off of it, and you like look down, Yi, and you're like,
I do love shiny things.
Yeah, right. And so you look down, and it's like a little pendant, right? A little like necklace that you'd wear. Do you reach down and grab it?
Yes.
Yeah. So right, it's like pressed into the earth. It's been there for a while. It looks like it's pretty dirty. So you just kind of like pick it up. It's like this little silver pendant. Yeah, and I think it is engraved with a little symbol of like a bramble. So this like branch with like thorns, and it's like twisting around like a central pole, basically. It's like bramble.
Okay, so I hold it up to Damla and ask if does this look familiar to you at all?
I'm curious actually, Yi, if it so question, Yi.
Yes.
How long have you been in Istanbul?
Not very long.
Not very long. Okay. So basically only as long as like this group has been here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Where were you before that?
I was in China I just started making my way because I'm trying to get to Spain.
Oh, okay. Take inspiration for letting us know that tidbit about your character.
Okay.
Yeah, so you wouldn't recognize this. I was just curious if you would. Shayla, have you been in Istanbul for any length of time? No? Okay. No. So you grew up
I've been traveling around, doing various errands.
Right. Sure. Okay.
Guess who probably has been?
Yeah, Muldrak. Okay, so
Damla.
I mean Damla, yeah, but I don't think she knows this, right? She's a sheltered noble lady, so she looks at this and she's like shakes her head. She's like, I nothing comes to mind. No.
This wasn't something that Kadir wore.
No, it definitely wasn't. He had this thing. He would always. We tried to get him to wear anything really that was like jewels for the house or whatever back before all of this started happening. He always would say, "No, that's for girls. That's for girls." So yeah, I don't think he would wear anything like that.
Well, okay.
She's still clutching the book to her chest.
this at least gives us something, I hope. Shayla, do you want to lead me out?
Sure.
So yeah, I think Damla nods to you and she says, well, I wish you luck. Let me know if there's anything else I can do to help you.
Of course. And so I whisper to Yi and I go, should we use the get out technique?
Yeah, get out version 2 though. Version 1, we need to workshop version 1 a little more.
So what does get out version 2 look like?
Basically, I play someone who looks like they're supposed to be there, and I kick her out and go with her.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I was just, my pet rat ran it. My pet mouse.
This is the family of Erdem.
I'm like holding my mouse. I'm like, I'm so sorry. Don't run away again.
No. And I just like basically cause a scene just to like.
Right, of course. That's so perfect.
Get out.
Yeah, and you turn back to one of the other guards that's like looking at this whole situation. You're just like, I'm gonna go teach her a lesson, right? And just like go out, shut the gate behind you. And so we hear, right, from behind the gate, we hear, oh, ow, yeah, take that, and like, that'll teach you never to come back here again. And we go, the camera cuts to you guys, and Shayla's like kicking like above her, right, like just pretending to do that, and he's like, oh, oh, it's awesome. Yeah, Shayla definitely take inspiration for Get Out version 2. Good job. Yeah, I think that works. Like, I don't think I'm gonna have you roll for that. Actually, okay, so roll, Shayla, roll deception for me just to see if they, like, you'll get out fine, like, they're not gonna stop you, but just to see if you leave an impression, like, that they might be like, what was up with that weird thing the other day? Or if you, like, manage to just, like,
oh, crap.
Oh, no.
Wait, what the heck? I have a +7. Wait, do I get advantage because she was helping me pull this off?
That makes sense. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Guys are doing it together. Wait, Yi, do you have deception?
Yes, I do have deception.
Okay,
That's one of my skills.
Yep, that's totally fine then. Yep.
Oh my god.
So you managed to
Better
do
be
that
glad
without...
I took deception as one of my skills.
We have literally been playing. And I've.
This is great. I'm so good at everything. She's so bad at everything.
Technically, you've crit failed 3 times because there was the one time there was the double.
Yeah, so you managed to do that without, you cause a scene, but like it's just one of those things like, newbies, right? Like it's just one of the new guards, I guess, one of the new hires. They basically forget about it pretty soon. Yeah, so you guys make your way to the like park that's next door, and like Moldrek's just like finishing.
I can hear them come. I can hear them coming. I'm
right.
like, stand up, stretch.
You're probably like, oh, get out plan 2, I guess.
That didn't work last. I was like, at least they've moved on from plan 1. Won't.
From version
I
1.
snap and go back to my regular self.
Right. Yeah.
Lil?
So.
Yeah.
If
What did you
Moldrak,
find?
if he's sitting down, I just kind of like throw the pendant in his lap.
I stood up when I heard you guys coming.
Okay. Then I toss the pendant to you and say, do you know what this is?
I look at it, glance over it, and
Make a history check.
frick, I have an intelligence. I have a +1 to intelligence. That's the weird part. Like, I'm a priest, yet I have a +1 to religion, and I'm not even proficient in it. And does it matter? Frick. It's not just
so I was actually history, not religion.
Yeah.
Oh, derps. Good. I rolled the wrong. Oh, and I have a plus. That actually does matter because I have a plus.
Yeah. Just go ahead and roll again. Yeah.
Why did I click religion? Oh, because they're saying religion. Why does it keep asking me if I want to do a public roll?
Yeah, it keeps asking me that too.
Yeah, I think I set like all new character sheets to do that.
Oh wow, that was just
I
that.
didn't mean to do it for you guys, so.
Does a 9 get me there?
Nope. Yeah, so you look at this thing and you're just like, well, I wish I knew what this was, but I definitely don't.
Well,
Maybe one of the locals will.
Yeah.
My thoughts exactly.
Is Moldrock not one of the locals? I'm just wondering.
I'm a local-ish.
Yeah. So where do you come from, Muldrock? So you're a Christian, right? Like you're a member of the Christian religion here. So, what's
I'm guessing I'm guessing maybe I was not necessarily local to this area, but the general area, and so I've been seeing more dragonborn come in, and it's just kind of been bugging me. That's what I'm gonna say, probably.
Okay. So you basically you've lived in Greece your entire life, basically.
This area, yeah, I'm guessing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you were you're probably like Greek Orthodox or something, right? Like something like that.
Well, I was against the Inquisition, so I guess that makes sense. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If you want to, like, we can say that because I think the Inquisition was mainly just in Spain, but I'm interested in the idea of like the Inquisition being more of a widespread thing. That's like it's like a Christian thing that's happening right now in like this version of Christianity. There's like a huge Inquisition on like everyone who's not, of a certain belief system in this like region.
I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing ideas.
No, yeah, like I'm interested in like taking pieces of what we know from actual history and like subverting them. So, yeah, I'm definitely interested in that. So
yeah, I'm a dragonborn. So
yeah, exactly right.
Those weren't around in that time.
Yeah, I mean, or ever.
In that time.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't know about something.
In the future, maybe, who knows? Yeah. So you definitely don't know what this is, but yeah, someone else might.
I have a feeling there might be some people here who know what it is, but I don't know myself.
If there's people that we can trust, then if you know people that we can trust, then we can go to them and ask, I guess, because this is the only hint of anything that we were able to find.
Would I know someone who we can trust?
That is a good question. If we were playing a different game, I'd have you roll circles right now, but we are not.
I can go in a circle.
I'm trying to think of what the skill here would be to like know a person.
I mean, if he's Christian, and would he be part of a church that
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Church members?
Go to local priest.
Yeah.
Who would know about history and religion?
Yeah, I think that's fine to say. Yeah, if you just want to like bring everybody to your like local parish. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Yeah, so we cut from there. And we fade back up on you guys going to this church. How big is it? What's this church look like? It's like your local parish. So are you like an officially sanctioned like paladin or priest of like this specific church? Or like, are you in like an independent?
I'd say this is probably where I've been going recently, but I am not officially a part of this church.
Okay, so are you officially part of any organization?
Actually, I got that backwards. I'm not lawful neutral. I'm neutral good.
Okay, neutral
good.
Backwards. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why I said lawful neutral.
It's like, wow, you're acting really nice for a lawful neutral person, but all right.
That's because I said it wrong.
Yep. So yeah, are you like a part of any like official organization?
Based off I mean, granted, I've been moving this week, so preparation time is not
totally fine.
I would say probably. I mean, I would say it probably was originally a church that started taking part in this Inquisition that was happening, hence the upside down and damaged token I wear. So since then, I've been kind of wandering around, not a part of anything official.
Right. Okay.
But doing what I can for like the local parish is what I can.
Absolutely. Yeah. Take inspiration for that. Yeah, for sure. So this is just like a small congregation. It's like a small. It's a beautiful building. But it's a pretty small chapel in the middle of kind of a rundown neighborhood. Really. The priest, I think, does a lot of like outreach with his like local flock and like go feed the poor and like other things like that, right? In this neighborhood. And yeah, you walk up to it, and I think they're actually doing that right now. There's like a basically a soup kitchen line, basically, except it's like a bread line. They're just handing out like bread to like some beggars that are like lining up to get some food for the priests. And so yeah, we see a couple of priests here. We see a big red dragonborn who is he seems pretty muscular dude. He looks kind of intimidating, but he has this like kindly smile on his face as he like gives some scraps or gives these like loaves of bread to the beggars. And so he looks up at you, Moldrak, as you come closer. And he says,
actually, as I was walking into the building, I took 5 gold pieces that I got from earlier and put them in the little tithe box they have at the door.
Right. Yeah. Sure.
Gotta stay in character.
Yeah. No, for sure. So we see that. I think that's the first thing we see, right? We see the coin go in, and then you like look up, and you guys are walking towards this. I think this guy's name is Abderus. I'll let right in chat. Abderus. He looks over at you and kind of like smiles, and he says, "Ah, Moldrak, so good to see you, my friend."
Give me a second. Writing this down. Abderus.
Yeah. He comes over and like reaches out a hand to like shake yours.
Reach out to it. It is good to see you too, Abderus. I have a question for you.
Of course. Anything.
We had a local family recently come through loss. The Erdem family.
Ah, Erdem family.
Yes.
Sounds familiar.
Recently, their son Kadir was taken from their manor, and we have been trying to help the family. Well, we have been trying to help the daughter of the family recover her stolen brother, and we were wondering if you would be able to help because we found this in their in the garden outside of the window. I handed the little token.
Yeah, he grabs it and he looks at it. His face darkens. Like he was pretty like happy and smiling before, and instantly his face just darkens, and he says, "Oh dear, you've stumbled onto something a little dark here, Moldrak."
That is what I was afraid of.
Yes. This is the symbol of an organization of sorts. I'm not sure. Are you sure you want to get yourself into this?
I did not come here for no reason.
No. These are dangerous people, Moldrak. Very dangerous people, and I just want to make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into.
I am willing to take the risk.
God will bless that. This organization is called... I'm frantically trying to...
I was wondering.
Yep.
It's like you're stalling.
I really was. I was like, okay, come on, please. Don't fail me. Oh, okay.
Are you really sure you want to know that?
Right, exactly. Don't judge me, guys.
It's fine. I understand.
So yeah, he like I knew this, like I prepped a lot of stuff for this, but somehow I didn't prep like any of the names. I don't know. So he looks at you and he says, they're called the Iron Bramble. They're...
I'm gonna type that in the chat.
Yeah. They're a group of thieves and murderers and warlocks, people of irrepute.
I want to kind of go, kind of point to the nod towards the warlock. That was with
the warlock and the thief.
Yeah.
Right. So you guys like look at each other. So okay, I think Abderus like notices you for the first time, and he like looks up. He's like, Moldrak, who are these two? I haven't seen them before.
They are my friends. They have been helping me with local jobs and and I don't know. I don't kind of think of how to word this because he realizes this is an awkward situation. Let's let's keep the language a little more friendly.
What are you getting yourself mixed into, Moldrak? I haven't seen you at church in some time.
Hey! Don't be writing my backstory.
I am praying for you.
I've been sitting near the back. You have not seen me.
Accountability partners? Is that what's going on right now?
I have been away for the past few weeks. We've been helping with local villagers who have been having problems due to the locals causing problems. I have been in my prayers every night.
When he says the word warlock,
yeah.
You notice that Shayla gets incredibly, her mood definitely shifts.
Mm-hmm.
Because she...
And my friends here happen to be a warlock.
Yeah, actually, you don't know that. No one knows.
Oh, I don't?
You guys don't know that I'm a warlock.
No.
Oh, I thought I did.
So you just think she's a magic user of some sort, right? But
yeah. But I would know that she's a rogue.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how obvious you are, that you like are a thief, but
okay, they may
I
not.
don't know if I.
You're
Yeah,
at
I don't
least
know
like an awesome ninja.
Yeah, but very clearly have some ninja skills.
Yeah.
Well, I do have.
Sorry. I guess I should have said that. You guys you just think I'm some kind of magic user. I have not disclosed that I'm a warlock.
In that case,
yeah, I'm not hiding that I'm a thief, but if we haven't had a job that like where it comes up,
right,
and I wouldn't have like brought it up, but if it's come up, then I've obviously like used my thieves tools and stuff.
Yeah, right. You're just taking out a bunch of like picklocks and like other things, just like crowbars. Just like, what do you use these for? What's going on here? Yeah.
In that case, that exchange.
I see on your character sheet that you have what is called a burglar's pack. What did you use that for, Yi? Do you use it to burgle things?
Only hamburger.
I would say, because I only have like a wisdom and intelligence of like +1, so it's probably that I'm just a little too trusting of them. I don't necessarily think ill will of them, even though I do technically have like, I don't know, it's called detect evil, but it doesn't actually detect evil.
Well, okay, so let's establish this right now. Yi or Shayla, are either of you of the evil alignment?
No.
Okay, well that's good.
Okay, good. Then I wouldn't have expected anything.
I am chaotic good.
I am neutral.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, I don't. They're good people. They are not evil.
Well, yeah. So he kind of like looked at you, was like, all right, I'm not gonna like press this, but they don't look like, you know. I think he says something to you like he like quiet so that Yi and Shayla can't hear it really. He's like, bad company corrupts good morals, Moldrak. I'm just looking out for you as a brother.
Don't be unevenly yoked.
Right, exactly.
No missionary friendship.
I'm trying to think of something snarky, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
But yeah, so he says, right, like, I think it would be best if you stayed away from the Iron Bramble, Moldrak. You should be going things like what we're doing here, giving food to the poor, helping them in their time of need. You're working for a noble family? Actually, did you say that?
Well, I would have said the.
Oh, you did. Yeah, you did.
Erdem family.
Yeah.
So
he's like, you're working for some noble family. What? How much money are you getting for this? Is this?
Money is not. I actually, I'm gonna look to him.
Yeah.
Take the money sack. This is not about money, and I'm gonna drop it in front of him. This is about a lost child.
I mean, I've already taken my money from it. I'm just saying, there's no way I would have let somebody else carry my money once.
Yeah, I think you guys split it up already. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna say like
being clear.
I'm gonna like say this is not about money, and I'm just gonna toss it down lightly, and even it's like some of the gold pieces are gonna come out. This is about a lost child who's been taken from his family, and his sister wants him back. I will do what it takes to restore this family.
Yeah, so he looks at you and kind of like frowns, and he says, looks down at the gold, looks back at you. I am sorry, Moldrak. Forgive me. I was acting out of line. You're a good man. And he like clasps a hand on your shoulder. He's like, and I know that you have the best of intentions. I guess I worry for your safety more than anything. Maybe I'm just trying to find excuses for you not to go getting yourself into a bad situation.
Let God worry for my safety.
Is there anything that I can do to help?
Have they been speaking loud enough where I can hear them?
Yeah.
Where can I find the Iron Bramble?
You are not. I'm the sort of like, I know you don't want us to go, but you will not stop us. If you will not help us, we will find others who will.
I understand. I understand all too well, Molterak. I used to be just like you. I was a wandering cleric. For Christ,
and then he took an arrow to a knee.
Yes. Till the wound put me out of commission, and now I'm here. I do think that this is good work. Probably better work than traipsing around the countryside solving every lost village's problem, but I think that what you're doing is good too. And it's maybe exactly what a young person like yourself needs. To feel like they're doing something great, not just something good. Just keep up with your prayers and visit me every once in a while.
I'll laugh and smile at this. As soon as I am done, I will come right back.
I look forward to seeing you in One Piece.
Likewise.
He nods. And then he basically starts to give you guys directions. So he basically says, the Iron Bramble, they're actually part of this quarter of the city. They make their lair somewhere in the midst of this quarter. No one knows exactly where their hideout is, but I can point you in the right direction, I think.
We appreciate it.
Yes. Have you heard of the Green Dragon Inn?
Have we?
We just came from there a little earlier this day.
Did you? Well, from what I have heard, many of the Iron Bramble frequent that establishment. You may be able to find some more information there.
Who would we look for there?
I would start by talking to the bartender. And bartenders tend to have lots of pieces of information and gossip. It's part of their job to talk to the customers and get them talking. That's where I would go, but I would be on the lookout for any more of this symbol. He kind of like holds it the pendant to you. He's like to like put it in your hand. So yeah, he drops it in your palm and says like, I don't think they all wear this sort of necklace, but they are at least, they have it somewhere on their person, whether it's a necklace or a tattoo or something like that. These gangs like to make sure everyone knows that it's them committing a crime. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you.
That should be enough, my friend.
I hope so.
And with that, I'm gonna start walking and I look to the gold and like I'm gonna look to the gold, look back and feed the homeless.
What do you think I'm doing? And he like grabs a loaf of bread and like hands it to a beggar.
Oh, we've been like interrupting him while he's been trying. Well, or
I mean, there's other priests. Yeah, there's other priests who are like handing out bread. Yeah.
I probably would have like put the gold back in and like handed it to him specifically, so it's not just sitting on the floor.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, some beggar runs by. I got it now.
They would not do that around me. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much. It's like I'm like this big. I got a shield and a long sword on me.
Yeah.
No, you just comes up behind you and just like snatches it.
Oh,
right. You do the like anime thing where you just like slide on the screen. Come here.
I would say it's probably like how she does that and like put my foot in front of her face so she can't grab it or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So you guys head to the Green Dragon Inn again.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I would like to lead the party since my background as an urchin, I can get us there faster through different parts of the city.
That's only if it's your hometown.
Is it only hometown?
I'm an urchin also.
I didn't think it specified. I thought
I'm pretty sure it's hometown.
Let's take a look at it again, shall we?
But I'm also...
You know the secret patterns and flow to cities and can find passages through the urban sprawl that others would miss. When you are not in combat, you and your party can travel between any two locations twice as fast as would normally allow.
But it was just towns that you're familiar with.
Doesn't look like it specifies.
Map of the city that you grew up in. So I would want to guide us through like
4 times as fast.
Right.
Well, I would want to guide us through like the other passageways and looking for any sort of like thieves' cant symbols or symbols of the Iron Bramble as we're going through like these different passages.
Right. But what's really funny is like Moldrak is probably the person who's lived in the city the longest, but like Yi and Shayla just like have already figured out the back alleys and like all the crazy like cool ways to get from like one place to another. And Moldrak is probably just like completely lost like within like 2 minutes of being led somewhere by you guys.
Because males don't like to ask for directions.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I'm just not used to going that quickly places. I'm used to strolling.
Right.
Also not going off the beaten path, like.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so sorry, you were saying something about the Iron Bramble symbol?
So as we're going along these like kind of like smaller areas, I want to be looking for any Iron Bramble symbols or thieves' cant like symbols.
Sure, yeah, make a I guess not an investigation because you're not like stopping and doing this, but like perception check just as you go.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you don't see it like painted on a wall and say like, you know, meeting at the hideout tonight, right?
Arrows.
Like, yeah.
Here's the doorway.
Evil fortress, this direction.
Yeah. Like given that what's been said about the Iron Bramble so far, I don't think they go around like just publicizing a lot about themselves. Yeah, they just like when they do a crime or like do a thing, they usually like leave a symbol like behind to like they're starting to get a little bit of a reputation. They're kind of new people on the block basically. Yeah, so you guys make it to the Green Dragon Inn. You find your way back there. And do you guys want to just like go up to the bartender and like?
I'm gonna actually.
I was gonna say that I wanted to like kind of approach the bartender because I'll talk to him and thieves' cant and kind of like see if he
right. You want to see if he's on up and up with that sort of stuff too.
I'm probably gonna find a table in the corners to watch from afar to see if I notice anything.
Okay.
I'll leave it to them and I'll kind of be the backup if something happens. Was my thought.
Sure. Okay. So you're probably like back over here.
Oh, that's right. We're back on the map.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there we are. I want to find the richest looking gangster.
Okay. The richest looking gangster. Let's see. Make an insight check or a perception check, whichever's higher.
Taking both are low.
Perception or insight.
I'm just trying. Yeah, do perception. Yeah.
Actually a beggar.
Right. It's like, are you the lord of the Iron Bramble? And it's just like some random beggar with like a scraggly beard. Just like, what?
It's a crazy beggar, so he's like, yes, I am.
No, so I mean, the only like really rich person you see in this establishment is there is a noble it looks like up on the like platform table up here, and if any of you want to make a history check, you could maybe recognize this guy.
What race is he?
He's a human.
Okay, never mind.
Actually, he's an Azamar. So he's a human, but like angelic.
Oh my god! Wow, I am disgusting.
So you don't know anything.
Wow, mine's awful too.
You also don't know anything.
He's angelic?
Yeah, he's an Azamar. Yep. So it's basically to tieflings.
I know
tieflings are the
something.
fiends. Azamars
So
are
he's a
to
celestial
celestials.
then.
Yep.
Emily carrying the party.
So in this in this universe though, Aasimar aren't like, they weren't born of angels basically, in the same way. They're the Greeks and Romans of this world. The Roman Empire was like a bunch of Aasimar who were just like awesome and like decided to conquer the world. Alexander the Great was an Aasimar, like all of those like cool conquering people. Yeah. So this guy's like Greek or Latin. But yeah, he's up there. Okay, so you got a 21. Yeah. So this guy is he's a popular noble in the district. His name is Callisto Kyrus. And he's kind of like a patron of like the black market in this district. He's like a nobleman who used to be like his family used to be one of the prominent nobles before the Ottoman Empire came in and destroyed everything. And when his family fell in hard times, instead of trying to keep up illusions of like trying to be noble, he basically just became a businessman and started a black market in Istanbul. And he is a pretty like all the like thieves and gamblers and like druggies like know him and like him. He's like, oh yeah, you're that cool guy who like gives us all of our like awesome illegal stuff. He's like the person. He's like a very savvy businessman who like has enabled the black market to thrive in this district. But yeah, he's there with like a couple of his like you kind of recognize them as being like his like right hand people, and they're like having a feast.
Would I know he's a noble?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obvious that he's at the very least very rich.
Because of my background, I can secure an audience with a noble.
Interesting.
Yes, and I just realized that would have been really helpful at the castle.
It really would have, yeah.
I derped out there, but whatever. Let me find the exact thing. Like,
so I'm curious, what is Moldrak's background in like nobility? Like, what he's a noble, so like where does he come from?
Well, I was probably part of the noble, a church for a noble, which is why I would have been brought to part of the Inquisition part.
Right. Okay.
But then I kind of stepped away from it.
So your family basically like gave you up to be part of like the priesthood as like one of the obligatory children that are sent to like a monastery or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me see if I can find. Yeah. Position or privilege. Thanks to your noble birth, people are inclined to think the best of you. You are welcome in high society, and people assume that you have the right to be wherever you are. Dang it, that would have been really helpful.
I really would have.
The common folk make every effort to accommodate you and avoid your displeasure, and other people of high birth treat you as a member of the same social sphere. You can secure an audience with a local noble if you need to.
But yeah, I mean, you could totally do that. I love how Shayla just completely missed this guy, right? Like, there's literally a rich gangster right there, and I think Shayla doesn't even. She's just like, not that guy.
You found the beggar.
Yeah, you're talking with some guy in like a ratty robe in the corner, just like. Are you sure that you're Lord, like, whatever his face is? Like, I don't understand. Like, how can you be a noble if you're, like, shouldn't you be in your castle right now? I don't understand. Yeah.
So my goal was going to try to be to coerce information out of them by flirting.
Right.
Oh, my gosh.
So that's the thing. Maybe Moldrak points this out to you, right? Maybe Moldrak is like, hey, look at that guy, right? Like, he's a rich gangster.
Now, what's what do the females look like in this establishment?
In this establishment, most of the females that you see, right? So you have like the bar maidens, right?
Are they dressed provocatively?
Yes, definitely, very, very definitely. There is a mix between, I think there's like 6 or 7 of them, and it's mixed between dragonborn, humans, tieflings, and Aasimar. That's the main population in this city is those 4.
I want to disguise myself as the most beautiful Asmarian you could possibly see. So like I want to like go in the bathroom and then like do it and
come
then,
out as
like after he's pointed this out. I'm like, okay, that's
yeah.
Halfling, half Asmarian.
Asmarian, whatever. I don't know.
The plural would just be Aasimar. It's just the plural and singular is Aasimar. Yeah.
Just a very short Aasimar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can do that. So you just go into the bathroom, come out as a beautiful bar wench. So
pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. So you just disguise self. And so you want to go up to the gangster guy?
Yeah, I kind of wink at Voldrack and like let him know it's me. I'm like,
I roll my eyes.
well, you're not gonna come with me. You should come with me.
Oh, okay. You're kind of like, no.
So that way you can get the audience, and then I can try to cruise him.
So I come up to him, and I say, what would I say? I don't know. I used to talking fancy. I walk up to him. How fares it this night, my lord?
Yeah, he looks up from you, or looks up from his dinner towards you, and like he's just been like going to town on this like piece of like mutton, right? And he just like looks up and he like has this like cloth napkin like tied to his shirt and everything. He like looks up and like kind of wipes his face. He looks up at you and says, "I'm sorry, I don't know you."
My class feature's not helping me much here.
Let's say,
but you haven't invoked it yet.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was doing. I was doing
right.
This
I know, but we had that like initial conversation. He doesn't even know who you are yet. So,
honestly, forgive me. My name is Moldrak. I am part of the local parish.
Ah, a holy man, I see. What brings a holy man to a place like this? And he kind of like points around, and I think he like points directly at like Shayla, who's like coming up, right? Like, what brings a holy man to a place like this? And then all of his like henchmen are just like laughing, just like, haha, yeah.
My various travels bring me many places.
Interesting. So what would your parish leader, or whatever you call them, think about you coming to the Green Dragon Inn?
I cannot lie, he would not appreciate it. In fact, he does not appreciate it.
A priest with some spunk, I like that.
I'm thinking to myself, like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? But I know him, I'm gonna think like I am here for, what's his name? I am here for Kadir.
I'm sorry. You're here for what?
I'm thinking. No, I said I think that to myself.
Oh, okay.
I was supposed to say, whoa, hold on, wait to blow our cover.
It's like, wow, we're going right there, yeah.
Right there. Bring us the boy.
We know it was you.
So at this point, do you walk up, Alyssa?
Yeah, I think so. I think I kind of go up and I say, like, hi, boys. Mind if I join you in your party?
So make a persuasion check.
Or deception?
Or deception, yeah, either of those work.
Can I assist?
Yeah, sure. How are you assisting?
Well, I would just by saying like, oh.
You can like maybe like hold me in or something. I don't know.
No, I kind of just like pat on the shoulder. This is my friend here.
Say we're friends. Okay.
We're friends. I don't know if that helps exactly.
But... Right, that sounds bad. That sounds bad.
Maybe you just don't help.
Yeah, I don't.
No, that's okay because I thought we were going for like, oh yeah, this is like my friend.
I feel it would be smarter, and maybe like I'm saying this because I think your characters would be smart. I think it'd be smarter to act like you don't know each other and just
be more welcoming.
Because if you're friends, then they're gonna think you're friends.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be so bad either. For him, convincing him, maybe I don't know.
I'll turn around and say, "Well, hello there, little one."
Yeah. So right, like when you say like "hello, boys," right? They all start like whistling and hooting and hollering, right? Yeah.
Like, don't like them short, huh? Well, any of you boys like them short? And I kind of twirl my hair.
Oh yeah, definitely, right? Like a couple of them say some very inappropriate things. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
And I'm just over talking to the bartender.
Yeah, so I think like this, right? We cut from that, and it just starts degenerating. We cut in the middle of a very, very suggestive joke, and then cut over to Yi, and we don't hear the tail end of it, but we just hear them laughing, right? Yeah, Yi, you're over there, talking to the bartender.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you say? Like you just sit at the bar?
Yeah, so I sit at the bar and kind of am just like chatting, but am doing thieves' cant and saying like how I'm kind of new in town and wondering like if there's good business around here that I could use my skills.
Right. Yeah. So you sit down, right, and then before you even say anything, he like comes over to you and you're just like, no, what it will be, and then you start talking and you start like, we hear the words that you're saying and it just sounds like completely normal conversation, right? It's just like, oh yeah, I'll take one of this, and then isn't the weather bad and all this stuff, and but like we see subtitles come up below you and they're like, hey, I'm a thief. I'm looking for work. Where can I find work? Right. You're just like inputting this secret message into what you're saying. And so, yeah, his eyes widen and he looks at you and he says, a lady of fine taste, I see, as he like, pours you a glass of something, and slides it over. Yeah, I do think the weather isn't the best in the world. It's a little bit too hot for this sort of drink, but I think you can handle it. And then we see subtitles, right? Like, the Iron Bramble is always looking for prospective recruits.
Oh man, you're right. It is really warm outside. And then I like, if the drink is kind of small, I just like shoot the whole thing back and kind of go, I mean, I think I can handle it. I'm from somewhere that's pretty hot anyway. And I'm like saying like, oh, I'd be very interested in that. Where could I find the Iron Bramble to show off my skills?
Right. And I think he says, oh, really? Well, where are you from? And we get the subtitles. How do I know? Let's see. Wait, sorry. What was your question?
Where can I find the Iron Bramble to show off like my skills? Kind of like as like an audition to get in.
Right. He says, so the subtitles come up and he's basically saying, you don't go to the Iron Bramble. The Iron Bramble comes to you.
Well, thank you very much for this lovely drink. Does the weather seem to be is the weather going to be changing anytime soon? Like saying like, is there I'll be staying in this inn for the next few nights.
Right.
Just like kind of letting him know.
Yeah. And he says, there's an east wind blowing. And then we just see on the bottom, it just says, I'm trying to think of how he'd say this. It's basically just the Iron Bramble accepts your offer of a test, right? Like.
Ooh. Okay, so I just kind of just like pay for my drink and leave a nice tip on the bar.
Sure.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know what an appropriate like large tip would be for.
I mean, even like 1 gold piece is probably large, right?
Yeah.
Like adventurers get spoiled on all these gold pieces, but like a normal person in this world, like usually just would never even see a gold piece in their entire life, right? Like.
Yeah. So I slide a gold on the table.
Yeah. He like tips his glass to you and like, thank you very much for the pretty coin. And then he's actually saying in Thieves' Cant, good luck.
I just kind of like nod and walk away.
So we come back to the raucous conversation, and I think one of the henchmen has like grabbed you, Shayla, and like you're on his lap now, right? And he's like telling you some like story of how he like beat like 4 men in an arm wrestling contest at the same time, and like like drinking very heavily, and yeah, Muldrak, you're talking with Callisto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's not even paying attention to you, Shayla. He's like looking at Muldrak and he's like, so what do I owe the pleasure?
Trying to think of how
I'm kind of like listening in the conversation, but pretending like I'm paying attention, like
yeah,
you're stroking his hair.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Yes, sweetie, you're so strong. And you're so great, but like really listening.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna roll the DC for him because I think he's gonna have. Wait, I was just gonna say he's gonna have disadvantage because he's drunk. But like because you're like touching him and there's like a difference between the way it works.
Oh, no.
He still succeeded.
What the heck?
So I think like he's just
totally unfair.
he looks at you and he's like, who are you? I'm sorry, what's going on here? And he just seems like really confused, but he's like drunk, so he doesn't actually know what's going on. I'm not sure I like this. And he starts like trying to push you off of him.
So I just go, sweetie, what's wrong? And just try to like talk him up and be like, you know that I'm one of the new employees here. I'm where they're from, Greek, Roman.
Yeah, you would be Azamari would be like like a Greek name or something. Yeah.
Greek woman names.
Name generator.
I'm Gwen. I'm Gwenny.
Make a deception check.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey,
Yeah, so
he's
he's just like, right. Oh yeah, I think the bartender was saying something about some new girls from Thermopylae,
Sweetie,
was it?
You've just had too much to drink.
You're probably right.
Why don't you just keep telling me your story?
Oh yeah, and so there I was. I was fending off 5 men and a dragon in his arm wrestling contest, and then we fade out and go back to their conversation. Yeah.
Well, so he's asking me like, so what I'm doing here? I was like, well, life was just when I saw someone of your stature here, I thought it was strange to be seeing you in the Green Dragon Inn. This is, like you said, this is not a place necessarily known for the greatest of people. as I kind of nod my head towards the drunkard.
Yeah, he just like raises a glass to you. Calista does, and he just like, I'll take that as a compliment, and then like takes a long drink. Yeah, and so he says, so what is it? You're looking to judge righteously some sinners?
No, not at all. I was just I am here because when I see, and I kind of look around, like when I look around and just like point out towards my head, like I see a flock in need of shepherding. But when I see you, I don't see that. So when I see someone like you here, that is not what I see. I was just curious why you come here.
You intrigue me, priest. Why do I come here? A man of obvious noble birth, I know. Why? Because it's fun, to be honest. Because I enjoy the sort of reputation it gives me among noble society. It's all going to the sewers anyway. Now that ever since the dragonborn came here. No offense.
No offense taken. They are not of me.
Right, of course. I shouldn't assume things. Not all dragonborn are probably part of the Islamic Empire that's spreading like wildfire around these parts. No, when I look at this flock that you mentioned, I see myself as the shepherd. One of an entirely different variety. Where you're leading a flock to peace and tranquility, I'm leading them to intrigue. A little bit of chaos, you know. Fun.
May I? Chaos?
You know, the good kind of chaos, not the kind of chaos that, comes and completely destroys the natural order of things, but the kind of chaos that is a part of the natural order of things.
I am not sure what you mean. Explain.
There's always an element of randomness in anything, right? A roll of the dice, whether or not the young deer is going to be eaten by the wolf or not, whether or not it will find that last surge of strength to make its escape. That sort of craziness, chaos that nature provides us. That's the sort of part of the natural order of things, the acceptance of the randomness of the world that I offer these lovely gentlemen and ladies. And, like, nods to Shayla. Yeah, he says, I think civilization is a little overrated sometimes. It has its quirks and uses, of course, but this sort of life, a drink in your hand and a lady on your lap, that's the sort of life that I live for. And it's the sort of chaos that I enjoy.
So I'm going to turn over, I'm going to try and say, like, I'm going to turn, like, naively say, like, so you speak of deer and such, so you go hunting with these men.
You could say that, maybe not the kind of hunting that a peasant would do out in the wilderness. You know, hunting of an all sort of different variety, a hunt for prestige, for wealth, for status. That's the greatest hunt of all, the hunt for oneself.
I'm trying to figure out how to ask him more, but without... I can't think of a way to do this without him, because he knows I'm a priest. He's not going to tell me he's kidnapped a child.
Well, that's the thing, right? You could give him, you could make him under the impression that, like, you're actually a crooked priest, right? And, like,
no, I wouldn't do that.
Right.
That's the problem.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that is against my moral code.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm gonna look at. I'm gonna try and make eye contact with Shayla, and kind of give her like a look, and look to blanked on his name, Callisto. I'm gonna give Shayla a look and turn to Callisto and say, well, if you don't mind, sir, it's been a nice chat, but I must get going.
Oh, come now. What did you say your name was?
Muldrak.
Muldrak. Don't leave yet. The night is young. I'm sure even a priest like yourself can find something fun to do around here.
I kind of excuse myself from the drunkard.
Yeah, and you hear like, no, don't go. What are you doing?
Oh, sweetie, I'll be right back. And I kind of go over to Callisto, and I'm like, stop talking with this priest, sweetie. Why don't you give me some attention?
All right, make a persuasion test. See if you can persuade him that you are worth his time.
And as they're doing all this, I just want to be like closely like observing the entire like tavern area, because I have kind of like decided that I'm gonna like break into something tonight as showing the Iron Bramble that I have skills.
Right. Okay.
And I feel like it should be under their noses.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you imagine. So you're kind of putting, I think, together a little bit of some pieces here. And I think you imagine that the guy that they're talking to over there is probably the actual owner of this establishment.
Mm-hmm.
And there's probably some sort of secret room, right? Like,
yeah,
there's probably like a thing here, like where he keeps all the good stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
That you might be able to break into. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So Shayla, he looks over at you and he says, "Oh my, how did I not notice you before?"
Well, I'm new here.
I can see that. I thought I had them run every new recruit by me. I guess Tovor.
Am I not to your liking?
No. That's not what I'm saying at all. I guess I'll have to let Tovor off the leash a little bit here.
I'm sure he trusts your taste.
Yes, he must indeed. And then he looks back at you, Muldrak, and he's like, "I'm sorry. Did you have a point to this? No. I think he says, I'm sorry. Could we pick this conversation up at another time? Please, like, feel free to partake of the delights of, whatever delights that your religion will allow you to partake of. Please don't leave, though, Muldrak. I really did enjoy our conversations, and you seem like an intelligent man, and I would hate to see you just walk out the door.
Oh, I will stay a little bit longer.
Oh, I would appreciate that.
And I'm gonna stand up, kind of nod to the rest of the men and say, "It has been a nice chat. Thank you." And I'm gonna walk actually over.
I don't think any of them like really even know who you are, like paid attention to the conversation at all. So like I think one of the guys is just like raises a glass to you, like, and then like turns to the guy next to him. Who was that?
I'm actually going to walk over and sit by Yi, and ask the bartender for just a water. Or
holy water.
So Yi, are you actually like sitting at the bar still, or are you?
I would be kind of like walking around casing the joint.
Okay, so
actually, so
you're just like walking around. Is that a secret entrance?
I know how to do it covertly.
So I'm gonna kind of walk over and sit at an empty table nearest to her.
To Yi?
Yeah. I just kind of sit down for a little bit, and as soon as she walks close enough by, I kind of say to her, "Have you learned anything?"
I don't say anything. I keep walking. I don't know him in front of any of these people.
Yeah. All right, make an investigation check, Yi. Let's see if you can.
You people are just trying to ruin everything that I'm setting up. I'm gonna use my inspiration to get advantage of this. Oh well.
Didn't even need it.
Nope.
Yeah, I think you noticed something odd about the fireplace over here. It's not going because it's like summer and it's super hot. Like there's no reason that the fireplace would going, so it's empty. You're looking at it, and every single time you glance at it, every time you like pass by, you look at it and you're just like, there's a secret door in there. Like your thief senses, your rogue senses are just like, there's a secret door in there. It's right there. That would be the place where I would hide a secret door.
Wow, okay. Okay, so I keep that in mind. And then would we already have rooms here, or would I need to procure a room for here?
Yeah, you'd have to get one. I don't think you.
Okay, then I would like to get a room for the next like 3 nights here.
Okay. I don't think that gold is important enough to even keep track of at that point. So yeah, you just do that. Okay, yeah. Sure, sounds good.
Okay, so then now that I have a room, I kind of just like go upstairs and kind of give a glance to Moldrak as I go upstairs.
I'll have probably at this point, since you just walk around and ignore me, I got some food, and I look at her like I'm eating first.
Fine.
So but I'll like go through my meal, like I'll do like pray for the food, go through my meal, and then afterwards, like maybe 10 or so minutes later, I'll walk up the stairs.
Yeah. So Shayla, where are you taking this conversation with the?
So basically, my goal is to essentially like flirt with him, just to get like enough kind of information, like, oh sweetie, I'm new in town, like you should tell me about yourself, like what do you do? And like you hear some scary things out there, like about these gangs, and just
but more subtle than that, obviously. Yeah. Okay, so make a persuasion test again, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please. Inspiration. Oh, I didn't even need it.
Right. Yeah, I think for sure. Yeah, you managed to. So we see a montage, right, of you. Actually, we just see the tail end of this, right? Where he's just like, yes, no, you're right. This is a dangerous place to live nowadays. With the Iron Bramble and all, and then some of his henchmen like laugh to themselves and kind of like clink glasses, and he's like, oh yeah, the Iron Bramble, because they're like part of the Iron Bramble, right? Because they're all just like, yeah, we're in on this.
I kind of like laugh with them.
Yeah,
as is, like I know.
Yeah, and he says, I mean, we aren't part of that organization, of course, but we help them along. We you could say that we're patrons of the Bramble. Yes, and they are Their leader, he is an interesting fellow. He's such an interesting up-and-comer. He has passion, he has drive, he has the will to make it in this city, and that's the kind of initiative that I like in a person. That's the kind of thing I look for in a leader. That's the thing I have in myself. That's why I started this establishment in the first place. And the Iron Bramble, yes, they're doing some interesting things. Interesting things indeed. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I don't really have anything else.
Oh, okay. They're doing interesting things like helping the city.
Help. Well, you could say that, I suppose. Helping is such a vague term. They're definitely doing something for the city. Yeah, I guess you could maybe helping. Helping. Do you think that's the right word, Valio? I would say so, sir. Yeah, helping. Can you keep a secret?
Oh, anything for you, sweetie.
Well, this is probably the time where, because he leans in close, this is when I have to roll to see if he like sees through your illusion.
Oh, Lord.
Roll low. Oh!
Thank the Lord! Finally!
But it actually mattered.
Praise Dragonborn Jesus!
Yep. So, he looks at you. And you see there's a moment where like maybe you feel a bead of sweat like go down the base of your neck, right? You're like, is he gonna see through my illusion? And he doesn't. And he leans and he's like, can I tell you a secret? And you respond and he says, the Iron Bramble is doing a little bit of an operation. They're they're thieves by heart, really. They're stealing something interesting these days. Maybe it's not even stealing. Maybe stealing isn't the right word. Do you think stealing is the right word, Valio? And Valio's like, no, I don't think stealing is the right word, sir. Like, kidnapping would be the better term. He's like, kidnapping. What an interesting word. It's actually quite appropriate in this case. They're literally, yes, they're literally napping kids. Yeah. In so many ways. Wow, that is a joke on several different levels, and then they all just start to like laugh to each other.
I'm trying to think how I would say this like charismatically, because I'm kind of like laughing with them, like, oh, haha, like I'm laughing at your dumb jokes kind of thing,
of course.
Like you do on a first date kind of thing. And I just say, oh, that sounds intriguing. Do you
my whole life is like that.
Well, I wish my life was quite that intriguing.
I mean, you're in the middle of it right now, darling. In the middle of it.
This is true. And I go, this is true. Do you know when their next operation is going to be?
The next operation. Man, that's a question that I don't think like the person he's expecting to talk to wouldn't ask. So make a deception check to like keep up the like you're like acting here, right?
I shouldn't have used my inspiration. Okay, there we go.
Nice.
I'm so good at deceiving.
Yeah, so I think he raises an eyebrow. He's like, perceptive. What, you're interested in the day-to-day details of this? I love it. I've been looking for someone like you for a long time now. What's to say that we don't have a more private conversation after this?
Whatever you want, sweetie.
Wonderful. Well, operation. The next operation. Well, do you know the let me generate a name here.
Name generation.
Do you know the Athana family? You definitely don't know the Athana. Well, I mean, you could roll history, I guess, but
You definitely don't know.
Well, and plus being my character, like she's new in town, like no, I have no idea.
Actually, make a perception test for me.
Okay. Perception, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Okay, so at first you're like, really Athana family? I definitely don't know who the Athana family is. And then you're like, oh, wait, no, that was literally the last name of the lady that I was, like, pretending to be. Yeah, earlier today.
I didn't even remember.
Yeah. And it was probably only mentioned, like, once, but that was, like, for you to, like, remember it, right? So, yeah. So he's like, they have a young daughter, 13. I don't know why I'm telling you this, but you seem such like an intriguing person. I just feel like I should spill all of my secrets.
Why am I telling you this? I don't know.
Because the game tells you.
Yeah, exactly right. And he says he basically just gives you the details that they're gonna steal the Athana's 13-year-old daughter. So it's obviously not the person that you played, but like apparently they have a younger
Lady
daughter.
Meryl's sister.
Yeah, Lady Meryl's sister.
I need to change that to Meryl's sister. Okay, got it.
Yeah, and so I think he. I think at this point he's just like, I think the night is wore itself a little bit thin. Why don't we go to the back?
Oh God.
See, this is where it gets dangerous.
This is where it can get dangerous.
What you got yourself into?
Mm-hmm.
I say, would you mind if I freshen up just for a minute?
Of course.
Okay, and so I want to kind of walk by Moldrak, and Yi isn't even like here.
So I think both Moldrak and Yi are upstairs by this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah, they're both upstairs at this point. Make a perception check to see if you noticed where they went. Yeah.
Notice that they go away. Oh crap.
Nope.
Oh,
you definitely have no idea.
Like,
your friend's just gone.
Yep. I was so into my deceiving.
Yep.
Crap. Okay, so I go in the bathroom, and at this point, how long has it been?
Since when?
Since we like got here.
I'd say about like 20 minutes or so.
That's it.
Yeah, maybe like half an hour, something like that. Like it's not. It's all happened rather quick.
Not terribly long. I don't think I have any like
why I mentioned
spells or anything like that that would help me in this instance. Like to help me like get them to come down or something.
Or you can just change back and walk upstairs and walk away.
But I didn't know like yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna go in the back room without any reinforcement.
Yeah.
Right, so that's what I'm like, you can just change back into your normal form and then just walk out the front doors.
Yeah. But then it's like, okay, then where do I go? I'm like
Yeah.
Might arise suspicion.
Yeah. If she doesn't go back. Gosh dang it. Okay. You know what? Operation Stupid. Let's go for it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Actually, can I say? Oh wait. Actually, all actuality. Can we take a bathroom break?
I was literally just about to say that, right? Yeah. So basically, so Shayla, is basically what you're gonna do. You're just gonna like go back.
So I'm gonna recast it on myself.
Right.
Like freshen up.
Right.
Oh no.
So that way it's for an hour.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay, and then just walk back out, and that will take our first break there. We went for 2 hours, yeah. Okay, and we'll be right back and forth more crazy shenanigans right after this.